It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolo, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
It is the Pete Sousa Show. We are here live from Waco, Texas, in the Alico building on the 21st floor. We are presented by Slovaceks. It is me and Scotty Swingler right now. We are Rogue Sports, and we're having some fun. I'd like to thank our friends at D1, Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. Yesterday, man, I'm telling you, I hit the brakes and I saw somebody coming in my rear view. I was like, don't tell me I'm going to be calling Danny Daniel again. And I was not, because they stopped. That's why we made brake lights, right? So we got a cool guest. We've got a couple great guests coming up. Nicole Sheeran, who's been on this show before. She is a sports reporter in Columbus, Ohio, by way of Manhattan Beach, California, by way of USC. And she was here in town working for the NBC affiliate. And now she is all over the Ohio State college football playoff run. And she did a story yesterday where she sat down, and I love stories like this. This is what championships, like huge games like this, kind of afford us the opportunities, is to get to know some of the players around the actual players. And she did an interview with Ryan Day's wife that I watched last night that I thought was really illuminating and kind of gives you an idea of the story behind the story, right? Behind every great coach or a great man is a strong woman. Like if you believe that, like this is the story for you. So I want to talk to Nicole a little bit about that. She's getting set to go to Atlanta for the championship between Ohio State and Notre Dame. A lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement around that. A lot of excitement around my mom right now. She last night she had a big night. So 40 years ago, coming up this April 1st, Villanova will have won the championship 40 years ago, right? That'll be the anniversary of the 1985 championship team. My mom worked in the athletic department. She was the secretary, or now you would say administrative assistant, to the athletic director in the year following when they won the national championship. And she was really, Villanova person herself. She was really dialed in. So I talked to her this morning. Pretty much almost every member of that Villanova team was back for that anniversary. There's one dude, Conley Brown, who was like a reserve. He was like a 7-footer. And Conley ended up in the FBI. And I think he might be in the CIA now. So like Conley, like legit, like wasn't available to come home back to America. But my mom was fired up. I talked to her about that this morning. It's very cool. They say like, and I'll be interested, like college basketball could be changing in that respect. Like whoever wins the national championship, actually, I could definitely see Danny Hurley's UConn team getting together 40 years from now, I think. But some of these pieces are so transient to these championship teams now. I don't know that you'll really get too many opportunities where these teams are families, like the Villanova family was, that I was able to be around and I was able to experience. I'll give you an example. So Chuck Everson, who was a 7-footer, a reserve on that Villanova team. Chuck is a guy who I'm going to have on this show. I was actually talking to him a week or two ago, about having him on this show. He's got this show that he does called Big East Rewind. And anybody, whether it's Jay Wright, Jim Boeheim, Tim Brando, who called a lot of the games, Brent Musburger, who called a lot of the games, right? They have all those types of guys on their show as guests. Lou Carnesecca, they had him on, a couple months before he passed away. So there's a really awesome show that Chuck does to keep the spirit of the original Big East alive. I was talking with Chuck a week ago, and he said, well, we're doing this reunion. Where's your mom? I need your mom's number so I can call her and have her come. Like, because my mom was very, very extended part of the Villanova basketball family. But nonetheless, she was in the athletic department, and at a time when athletic departments were groups of 15 people, really outside of the coaches. Your athletic department was maybe 10 people. So there's a real intimacy there. Anyways, my mom, though, having trouble recently with Go-Go Grandma, which is, I don't know if you're familiar, but if you're lucky enough, right, truly, to have a parent that is living deep into their, early into their 80s now. My mom is, let's just say, older than 79. And she called me yesterday. This is, if you wonder where I get my entitlement from, here's the story. So my mom calls me yesterday and is telling me how Go-Go Grandma, which she uses to transport her around, Go-Go Grandma, you guys are not doing your job. My mom says it's complete BS. What's going on? She's having trouble getting in touch with you guys. It's tough for the drivers to come over. So my mom was waiting for a Go-Go Grandma the other day. And what does she do when the Go-Go Grandma, there's miscommunication? It's the ride isn't coming, right? There's a real situation here where my mom has called for a ride. The ride, like I said, is not there. And so now she's stuck. So what does my mother do? She walks down our driveway and just stands at the corner of the driveway. Now, at some point, when you're a lovely 80-year-old woman standing in the middle of the street, someone is going to ask you if everything's all right. I mean, wherever you are. And at some point, when you tell this person, I need a ride. They're going to probably give you a ride if they have a soul, right? So my mom now, as I see it, is preying on the kindness of not strangers, but people in the neighborhood. And one of my best, I can say this because one of my best friends from high school actually gave her a ride to CVS where she needed to go, and order was restored. But my mom, I love her. I'm trying to get her down to Texas. I would call her right now, but she would yell at me because her voice is not very good this morning. I talked to her a little earlier, but I guess long story short, I told a funny story, but big shout out to the Villanova basketball family for taking care of my mom last night, for including her in that big night to celebrate the 85 championship team. I know that for someone like her, whether she'll admit it or not, that's a huge shot in the arm. And, you know, those families, those athletic departments, like those relationships run deep. Jay Wright is a great example. You know, my mom knew Jay when he was probably 25, when he was an assistant for Rolly Massimino, like in his first few years. And, you know, Jay was the young, cool guy who was hustling all over campus. There was something about him right away that everybody, you just liked him, you know. And then I think for adults in the room, they probably knew, okay, there's something special about this guy. He's going to be a special coach, a special professional, aside from being a special person. You know, people like my mom, they really don't care about that. They just saw that this guy was genuine and authentic, and he lived with a bunch of guys right behind the grade school that I went to. One of the guys was Craig Miller. Craig obviously was ultimately the sports information director of Villanova, who ended up being the director of all communications for USA Basketball and the Dream Team. So I was super lucky to be connected to guys like this, and, you know, to guys like, you know, through my mom and guys like Craig, like guys like Jay Wright. But like, you know, if I bump into Jay Wright, he knows who I am because of my mom and because of the strong ties that bind, you know, programs like Villanova. So it's very, very cool. I was thinking about something the other day, and this is the last thing I'll say about Villanova, which is like kind of a great thing. And this just dawned on me. When I was a kid, I've talked to you guys about like getting sober and stuff like that. And it didn't happen overnight. Like, it took me 10 years to get 1 year sober. I tried to stop drinking for the first time in 2002. And then I didn't actually really get sober till 2011. Right. And there was a lot in between there where I just decided, okay, I'm not going to decide. You think you decide. You have this addiction that's kind of making your decisions. But I was like, all right, forget it. I'm just going to drink and try to keep it in the fairway. So I had like 6 years where you're just out there creating total chaos and madness, but you think you're like a contributing member of society. Before all that happened, there was a time when I first really tried to stop in 2002, 2003. And I was home. I'd moved back from New York, where I was working in New York, had a good job. But now I was back home trying to get my life together. And the Villanova assistant sports information director, this guy, Dean Kennefick, he knew that Terry Sousa's son had played football in college and had worked in sports and was trying to get back on his feet and was looking for anything to do like game operations wise. And Dean actually set me up to work like on the Villanova game night crew. He gave me a job where I was doing the shot chart. I swear I don't even think they use this. I think Dean was just giving Terry's son something to do so he could feel a part of something. But I sat at the scores table and made a shot chart up. I don't know. Maybe they used it. Maybe they didn't. But I charted all the shots in the game. And by doing that, I worked with my buddy, Ed Svita, sometimes. Now, Ed, his Joe Buck's talent stats guy. Ed does talent stats, which is a job where, and he now works with Joe Buck, but you stand next to the broadcaster and you feed them information, you know, what's going on throughout the game. And if you're really good, like Ed is, or like my buddy John Tobias is, broadcasters, not necessarily of my ilk, but, well, we'll get to that in a second, but broadcasters that will fly you all over the country and have you work with them. And so Ed travels with Joe Buck and several other guys, right? So Ed's probably the best in the business. So I got to know Ed through working at Villanova when I was a kid. Anyways, long story short, now I'm back on my feet, calling games for ESPN. And Monday night, I did that game in Tempe at Arizona State. And who was my stats guy? Jack Svita, Ed Svita's son. Ed called me. He said, hey, Jack's getting involved and doing talent stats. I'd love for him to work with you. So, like, here we are full circle now. My guy, Ed, who works with Joe Buck, that's what I get. See, Joe Buck gets Ed, and I get, Ed's son, which is pretty much how it should work in this whole deal. But I'm on a little bit of a jag this morning, but a lot of appreciation for my roots, for the Villanova basketball family. And I always tell people are like, wow, you kind of have almost like a foolish belief in, you have a foolish hope, let's say. I think I had my childhood, from what I could experience, was good. It was like a lot of fun because of some of the connections I just told you about. And, there's always family stuff, but overall I had a really good childhood. And then I grew up at the foot of the Villanova basketball program, who taught me about dreaming in 1985 when they made that improbable run to the Final Four and then the championship. And then, of course, I always tell people there's something to the whole Rocky effect. I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia. I must have watched every Rocky movie 1,000 times. You become, I don't know, maybe misguided, but you do end up with a belief in yourself. All right, so that's an interesting start to the show, but I talked to my mom before. We got Nicole Sheeran coming up. I cannot wait for this game on Monday. There's a lot going on football-wise, and we're going to cover that in the last segment of the show when Corey Dickman comes on and we do our picks. But the college football championship game on Monday night is going to be one that I think we're in for an incredible game. I was in so deep last night. I was watching highlights of Marcus Freeman play linebacker at Ohio State. I would urge, Scott, have you seen any of these? Freeman? Yeah. No. Okay, so in 2007, Marcus Freeman was war number one, and he was like the focal point of this defense. And he was an extension of the defensive coaches on the field. And I watched basically a whole game where they were playing Illinois. I watched highlights from the game. And Marcus Freeman, although the problem was a lot of the tackles were being made down the field, he was so good fundamentally and at getting to the spot and at wrapping up the ball carrier and taking him down. And another thing too, it's so funny. You saw him, he's built like a Goliath. He's chiseled, he's got the size, he's clearly got the strength. He has the speed and the quickness, and every tackle he makes, it's business as usual. And look, I'm a guy, I think, I've sat here and talked about how I grew up appreciating, Mark Gastineau and guys that would dance after they made big plays, and Brian Bosworth and Lawrence Taylor. But Marcus Freeman, every time he made a big play, he would just peel up off the ground, business as usual, move on. This is what we do. And it's no surprise that a guy like that is I will say it is surprising. 2006, you were, I guess that's almost 20 years ago. So it would make sense, right? But I mean,
I was in middle school in 2006.
But I will say it was a rapid. It feels like a rapid ascent. I don't know. Like I mentioned, in 2006, I was muddling through life working. I was a public relations coordinator for the Charlotte Bobcats, and I was nowhere near. Well, I don't know. If I'd played things a little better, who knows how things would have turned out. But I'm happy they worked out the way they did. I had to hit a bottom before I came back up. Speaking of coming back up, we are coming back on. Give us about 3 minutes. And we're coming back with Nicole Sheeran. Nicole is live in Columbus before she heads to Atlanta. She's been covering Ohio State all year long. She left us in Central Texas in about July, just in time for football season and just in time to give us exactly what's going on with Ohio State coming up to the championship game. So we're coming back with Nicole Sheeran in about 2 minutes. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics, rolls on after this.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Protect your online privacy early, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Download Blogify now in the App Store. Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com. At Toussaint's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Toussaint's.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today.
Sports.
All right, it is Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV in Columbus, Ohio. She left us in July, just in time for football season, to get to Columbus and to tear it up. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about the Buckeyes in this college football championship.
What is up, Pete? Thank you for having me. I miss you guys.
Oh, we miss you too. I was texting with Allie last night. I said, I got to get in touch with Nicole. I said, and I didn't want to I guess blindside you. So I was like, is she in Atlanta now or whatever? Of course, Allie didn't know. Allie was like, you mean the natty?
Allie's my girl, but she didn't know. No,
Nicole, she goes, do you mean the natty? I was like, oh boy.
God.
So, but I've been obviously watching all your stuff this year. You've been doing a phenomenal job, and it really is cool to feel like I'm dialed in to a school like Ohio State, especially when they go on a run like this. But last night, you really took us behind the curtain. You touched on I think a nerve, or you hit a nerve with me at least. Ryan Day, I thought after the Michigan loss, I personally, and I went, as public as I can go and said I thought it was BS that people were actually saying he was coaching for his job. And while we have all this stuff that we see playing out on the surface and all the rumors and boosters and whoever gets in the mix now, it gets pretty loud. And weighs in with their opinion. There are people that are actually dealing with these situations. And Nina Day is one of those people, and that's Ryan Day's wife. You did a story last night on her on Channel 10 in Columbus that anybody can see on Nicole Sheeran TV. It's online now. Of course, you can go on the station's website. But what was it like for you to sit down with her and kind of get a pulse for how she was feeling during all that and how she's feeling now?
Yeah, so thankfully, I've been able to build a really great relationship with Nina Day over the season. I did an interview with her right before the season, and then, I was just kind of thinking, it'd be really powerful to talk with her about the whole year and what it's been like. Because what a lot of people don't realize is, what happens on a football field, it's taken home. It's taken behind those doors. It affects their children. It affects, being a coach's wife is incredibly difficult. And Nina was telling me how, of course, Ryan tries to keep the emotions of football separate, but it goes behind closed doors. It trickles into dinner time, at the table with the kids. The emotions go far beyond that. And I'll be honest, Pete, I wasn't sure at first how open she was going to be in terms of, how much she was willing to talk about what this family has been through this season. And I really didn't even have to really pry into it that much. I just kind of asked her, you've been through the ups and downs of this year. What has that kind of been like? And how have you leaned on each other during that time? And she just, kind of just opened up to me and said how, what I really loved that she said, Pete, was that she told me that her kids saw her dad fail. And that was traumatic. Like, they had to sit, they all sat down and they had a discussion about what was going on and what it could mean for the family. But the way that she looked at it is that her kids were able to see how their dad handles that kind of adversity. And it's a life lesson. It's a life lesson on how you deal with outside noise, how you deal with chaos and people coming for your job and people saying things about you and all these things. Like, their family was fully affected by that. And like you said, it honestly, it's insane to me. It really is crazy what can happen over a game of football sometimes. But it was very eye-opening to hear her just kind of outlook on everything, because the way she approaches it all is honestly, it's remarkable with like how she kind of looked at it as a life lesson and what it taught her kids on how to handle those sort of things in life.
How about when she said he woke up in the morning after that Michigan loss and said, I've got no choice but to fight my way out of this. And it's, when you think about that bunker mentality, that's something that only a coach of that magnitude and a person, right, of that, that's why he is as successful as he is, because he can dig down and find that gear in that moment of darkness. And she's right there with him. These two have known each other since they were 6 years old.
Yep.
What a love story, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I love about them to begin with. I did a story on them before the season of how they met in T-ball, and now they grew up together, and here they are. He's the head coach of one of the biggest programs in the country. Their love story is incredible. But you're right. Because I asked her, I said, was there a shift? Did you feel a shift with Ryan? Because from football fans and reporters, we saw a shift with this team ever since that game. And I asked her, and that's exactly what you just said, is what she said, is that there was a look in his eye, and he said, my only option is to fight my way out of this. And that shows so much about not only him as a coach, but the family. The fact that he's not going to, fall over and roll over and kind of, be upset and self-pity or whatever it is. He said, no, this is my only option. We have to fight through this, and we're going to make it to the end. And she told me, she said, that's the kind of person he is. You prove all the doubters wrong.
Yeah, no, they have. And I want to ask you, you mentioned, I got to drill down on that, the shift that you noticed. What did you notice that changed after that game against Michigan, where that it had to feel like rock bottom inside that program, but there was still a little bit of light right at the end of the tunnel? You probably figured you were still going to go to the college football playoff, but what was the shift that you noticed?
I felt, honestly, Pete, and I've said this, and people can call me crazy saying this, but I think that loss to Michigan was maybe the best thing that ever happened to this team. Because in the craziest way, I saw a shift within the culture, within the drive, like the drive to want to achieve that ultimate goal, because they came in with 3 goals. One was to beat the team up north, one was to win a Big Ten title, and the last was to win a national championship. 2 of those goals were no longer after they lost that game. And I think everybody realized, especially the guys who came back for one more year, like a Jack Sawyer, like a JT Tuimoloau, like those kind of guys, realized we only have 1 goal left, and it's the biggest one of all of them. So we need to kick it into gear, get over this, and use it as fuel to get to Atlanta. And you saw that with all the players, and you saw it with Ryan Day. Like the way that he would speak to us in media availabilities throughout the week. I mean, he is so locked in. I don't even know how to explain to you the way he's focused, and like the ultimate prize is right in front of him. And all the media people talk about it. We've never seen him so locked in before games before. Like ever since that loss, the whole culture shifted. I mean, and I'm sure you've seen videos that they've put out after playoff games where he's in the locker room and he's yelling, "It's our family against their family." And he's like fired up. Like that is the kind of stuff that we don't normally see. But seeing those videos, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like this team is different right now. They have their eyes on a prize and they're going to go get it.
You have had a front row seat to what was an amazing full circle moment. You know, Jack Sawyer rips the flag out of the Michigan Wolverine player's hand at midfield. And, you know, Ryan Day says our players just weren't going to let that happen. And then Jack Sawyer rips the ball away from a Longhorn and races the length of the field to drive the nail in the coffin. What is the difference in emotion from that Michigan moment to that moment against Texas?
I mean, Pete, that I like get chills thinking about that moment against Texas, because I was thankfully on the field for that. And wow, first of all, it's just iconic that, of course, Quinn Ewers and Jack were roommates when they were in Columbus. So that just adds to the whole story. But what really, the emotions that I think everyone felt in that moment is that Jack Sawyer almost had that moment against Michigan. It didn't work out the way they wanted to, but everybody thought, oh my gosh, that was the moment. We're going to win this game. Didn't end up that way. The fact that it was Jack Sawyer that had the sack, scoop, and score, just really, it's a defining moment for this program. And that play is going to go down in history because Jack Sawyer is the kind of player who will go down in history for this program. I mean, Ryan said it on the sideline. He jumped on him, hugged him, and he said, that is how these games are how legends are made, and you just became a legend. Like in that play right there. Like that's just, I mean, he's a Pickerington guy. He's from Central Ohio. He's Ryan Day's first commit. Like he was Ryan Day as the first year that he was a head coach. That was Jack Sawyer's coach. He came back for one more year because he said he'd commit to Ryan Day 1,000 times if he could. And I don't know if you saw it, Pete, but Jack Sawyer actually wrote this whole player.
I saw the headline. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of shows how much this team means to him. And the fact that it was Jack Sawyer, just it's the full circle moment. It's the bow on top of everything. It's emotional. It's just like, you just feel all the buildup of that moment. Like, he has been doing and working and doing all these things for that moment.
What's the headline? It's
clip.
like one more game than forever or something like that.
Yeah, one more than forever. Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
So
yeah.
let's look at that one more. Around this team, as you've seen them get ready to take on Notre Dame next Monday, what have you felt? You know, give us a vibe check around this team as they ramp up for that ultimate opportunity.
Well, there's 3 words they keep saying all week. Job's not finished. That's what they keep saying. Job's not finished. They said, if we don't win this game, we haven't done anything. Like, we haven't done anything. This is the ultimate win that they have to get under their belt to feel like they accomplished something this season. And I saw a lot from that Texas game. I saw a lot of fight. We've seen it all postseason. The Buckeyes' red zone defense is honestly incredible. I mean, if you really watch what they did in those final minutes of play to hold Texas from scoring is remarkable when you go back and look at it. The thing with Notre Dame that's going to be the key is containing Riley Leonard. Like, he's got legs. He's going to use them. If they can hold him from running the ball, I think they're going to be just fine. I mean, Notre Dame showed spark against Penn State. They've showed spark all season. But there is just a different kind of fight and mentality with this Buckeye team that they're almost like untouchable. And there was a point with Texas where you felt for kind of the first time in postseason, whoa, wait a second, this game's close. Like, we got to kick it into gear.
Yeah.
But they proved themselves that they never panic. They never doubt themselves. You never are worried that they're going to lose the game because of, I think, the mindset that these guys have from the very beginning, that they're not accomplishing anything unless they win this game on Monday night. And yeah, I mean, Ohio State's got the top scoring defense. Notre Dame's got the second. So it's going to be a battle out there. But I think and I've also loved the way Chip Kelly has called games recently. Will said it the other day. He said chips in his bag. And I think that's a big part of it, is the creativity that we're seeing with the offense and how they're kind of clicking on all cylinders. I think it's going to be a low scoring game on Monday night, but I think with the way this Ohio State team has been playing and the fight that they've shown when it gets close against the Texas, and they've got, their 4th and 10 in the red zone and they hold them. Like, I'm not concerned about this team getting it done. I just think that it's going to be an emotional game because for all these guys who came back, it's their last time playing, whether they want it to be or not. Like in the Scarlet and Gray, it's their last time. And there was a clip from Emeka Ibuka, and he said, before the Texas game, he said, he goes, January 20th, that's going to be my last time playing in this uniform, not today. And it's like that is the culture of this whole team. Like, I don't think there's anybody who wants this more than this program. Like, yes, every team wants to win the national title, but this team wants it more than I think you've ever seen before.
How about Nicole Sheeran? I mean, here you are, this USC alum. You get big time work in the Big 12, and now here you are climbing the mountain in Columbus, headed to Atlanta for the national championship. And I've watched your development. You've made such a smooth transition to the biggest of stages. How has it been for you? Because when you're working in Central Texas or in a Big 12 market, it's big, but it's not the Big 10. And I probably shouldn't say that because I'm a kind of a Big 12 guy here. I work for them, but I do want to say there's something special, obviously, about Big 10 football. What's that adjustment been like for you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I came here, and we talked about it, Pete. I came here wanting, I loved my time in Central Texas, wouldn't change it for the world, but I really came here wanting to elevate that whole sports reporting experience. And I mean, I wanted to cover one of the biggest programs in the country. And the fact that on my first year here, Ohio State's going to a national championship is just crazy. People joked and said, you needed to come sooner because apparently you're the good luck charm. Sorry, guys.
What's your travel situation looking like?
So that's the big bummer with everything is I actually, unfortunately, don't get to go to Atlanta, which has been, it's been a little unfortunate. But I'm thankful that I went to Dallas, and I'm thankful that I got to experience all of that. And, because this season, I haven't been able to travel for any road games just because of the way our situation works. And so getting to go to the Cotton Bowl and see that Jack Sawyer play, firsthand, which, like we said, is going to go down as one of the greatest plays in the history of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, that was really incredible. And I'm trying to, cherish that moment because, it's a big bummer that I'm not going to get to be in Atlanta. Somebody's got to be back here manning the ship.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because what I'm going to do is, can I ask you, can you join us next week, maybe Monday for a preview or Tuesday for a recap?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, because you honestly, just about as much as anybody that's going to be around this game, and just from talking to you, getting these insights, and like I mentioned, you kind of taking us behind the curtain is exciting and inspiring. And again, I would urge everybody to go check out this piece on Nina Day, because I'll tell you, I was like I swear I don't get like this, but I was pretty annoyed, like when people were talking about Ryan Day coaching for his job. I was vocal about it, again, like as vocal as I can get, or, as loud as I can be. But that really annoyed me because, one, I felt like it wasn't true. And two, I felt like if it was true, it was completely insane. And so, so it was really cool to hear people like you, and to even hear people like Holly Rowe start to report report that was not the case. You know, like,
No.
and it was BS.
Well, and also what bothered me, Pete, because like you said, I can only be so vocal, right? Like I know at the end of the day, I'm a reporter and I'm not going to interject myself too much. But what bothered me is that you've got a coach like a Kirby Smart who's 1-7 against Bama, and he's kind of cursed with that team. Yet nobody talks about, oh, we got to get rid of Kirby Smart. He can't beat Alabama. Yet with Ryan Day in Michigan, it's a similar curse, and I get that it's more of a rivalry and it's more historic rivalry, but it's the same sort of thing. You're talking about a coach with a stacked resume who's could potentially bring this team and is now bringing this team to a national championship. Like, I never understood it. And I also had problems with it, but seeing Nina open up like that, I mean, it's emotional. Like, it makes me just really frustrated for that family because they don't deserve any of that. And I don't think people realize.
But that was, you know, when you're part of this deal, right? Whether it's reporting, whatever you report, or as a journalist, like, you do have an opportunity to shed light on positive stories and to give people a lens. I'm telling you, myself included, even though I was already on the side of like, I think this is BS, but a lot of people, I can guarantee you, saw your story and are going to be telling you, wow, that was amazing, because we need more looks like that, especially, and I said before we had you on, you know, when you have championship games, like games of this magnitude, whether it's the national championship or the Super Bowl, there is a little bit of extra ramp up time where we get opportunities to know people like Nina Day and to know that her and her husband, you know, for somebody like me sitting in Central Texas, I did not know that she met her husband when they were 6 years old playing T-ball. But like that bond has got to be so incredible. So I appreciate you showing us a little bit about that.
Of course. I appreciate the kind words.
Well, they're well deserved. Nicole Sheeran, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Channel 10 in Columbus, Ohio. You can find her at Nicole Sheeran TV. That's SHEARIN TV. That's where you can see that full story too. Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank you, Pete. You're the best.
All right, I'll holler at you over the weekend. We'll set something up for next week.
Okay, sounds good. OH, Pete. OH.
I-O, baby. I heard you on the plane saying that. OHIO. Nicole Sheeran, everybody. All right, we'll step aside. We've got picks coming back with Corey Dickman, the Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. Back after this.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Download Blogify now in the App Store. Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com. At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com. Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today.
Sports.
The Pete Sousa Show is back, and we are welcoming Corey Dickman back into the studio. All right, Corey, big day.
Dude, big day. What is today, Pete? I'm
So
lost.
today's
right now.
Friday, January
Oh, yes.
17th. College football playoff is the 20th of champions.
That's what we're doing.
We're just talking to Nicole Sharon about that.
Okay.
Our good friend in Columbus, Ohio. Setting the table, Buckeyes Insider has me feeling pretty good about the Buckeyes, I will tell you.
Okay.
As I felt good about them last week.
So,
it's not about what I think.
so if I came in here and said, "Rally, sons of Notre Dame, sing her glory and sound of fame, raise her gold and blue, and cheer with
Might
voices."
give you a throw up.
There's a lot more here. I look at the spread, and do you think 8.5 is too many for like this
8.5 is a lot.
Marcus Freeman led scrappy Notre Dame team that, by all accounts, should lose this game by 25 based on Ohio State's run here, right? Tennessee,
Yeah.
slaughter. Oregon,
He snapped.
Oregon, slaughter. Right? Texas,
What does he have to say?
I don't know what this guy has to say.
I'm rooting so hard for Notre Dame in this football game. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why?
We can talk about it more Monday when I'm not interrupting Corey.
So you're fine. No, I mean, it feels good that
you know, as much as I love what we just did with Nicole talking about Ryan Day, but to me, Marcus Freeman is the story of this postseason. And I just really like him. I'm really rooting for them. And also, I think there's a low-key, like, I don't normally root for Notre Dame, but as a Baylor guy at the largest Protestant school in the country, like, there's something about, like, the Catholic school
I'm
one.
with you on
I'm
that.
kind of for that.
I can rally behind those Catholics all day long.
get behind them. There's one thing. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to pull this up. Pete. I have
By the way, while you're working on that one gambling thing, something that's interesting, I can't believe I haven't looked up.
Yeah.
Today, ultimate or most up to the minute odds on Cowboys next coach. Deion Sanders is plus 100. He's the favorite. This is my draft.
Okay, go, keep
This is out of Vegas. Kellen Moore is plus 250, followed by Cliff Kingsbury
Oh,
plus 350. And then, honestly, I apologize. Joe Brady, are you guys familiar?
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady, where's he? He's plus 450.
I don't know where he is now.
Was it Witten up there for a minute?
He was, but he's not.
He's falling
Joe
off.
Brady went to the Panthers with Matt Rule, and I did not see where he went after that.
Okay, so Joe Brady, and then Ben Johnson is plus 550, and then Bill Belichick is plus,
Oh man, that would be wild.
which is wild that it's like not like plus, it's like 5,000.
Can I say something? And this is kind of off the bet pathway for a second. But we're all tough on Jerry, right? Especially Cowboys fans. But isn't Jerry just living out what we all do in fantasy football, except he gets to do it in real life? Like,
there was a real argument to be made to what you're saying.
We all would do that.
It's his team.
It's his team. He made the quote, right? The famous quote where he's like, I didn't buy an investment. I bought a job, right?
Yeah.
Created a job for myself because he wants to run a football
So
team.
my good friend who is on the show every year when the golf circuit, when the majors kick back up, Murph Barton,
Okay.
does have the great quote. And these teams are like public trusts, though. So you do have to be considerate of the fan base.
Well,
Sure.
sure.
Jerry seems as though he's
Yeah.
extremely inconsiderate of the fan base, and it's selfish a little bit.
It's selfish, but I think Jerry knows he hasn't won in 30 years,
Yeah.
and some of that gets out of his control sometimes. Right? Like, Cowboys have had some weird calls go against them in playoff games. Not saying those seasons they would have won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but that stuff's kind of out of Jerry's control to some degree. Injuries, bad luck. But what he does have in control is he can say, I have the most valuable sports franchise in the world, and you know what's going to make that even greater if he brings Deion Sanders in. And that is 100% in his control. The media around this team, Pete, would be astronomical.
Yeah.
The Doomsday podcast with Matt Mosley and Ed Werder on the Road Media Network would just skyrocket.
Dude, you can't. I'm sorry. This is a flex here for Rogue. Like yesterday, the tidal wave of media coverage comes after Ed Werder tweets that Deion Sanders would accept the job if offered, and Jerry Jones is very enthusiastic about offering him the job.
Yeah.
That's our boy Werder.
Dude, boy Ed at Rogue Media, Ed Werder at Rogue. Plus 100. Put my money down. I'll take the odds.
Right.
Everybody else, you just list it off. Feels like a crapshoot. Kellen Moore probably would be like maybe the one at the beginning of the whole this because he thought, well, he can come in and he'll be the new Jason Garrett kind of figure.
Did you listen to Simmons this week?
Yeah, I part of it.
Simmons talked with him and Sal.
Yeah.
Sal's a huge
Cowboys
fan,
guy, yeah.
but they were mentioning about how Bill Belichick possibly could leave North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that.
Michael Lombardi is his GM
Yes.
right now in North Carolina. So Simmons was saying, well, no. Sal was like, well, what if he leaves and he goes to somewhere else and Lombardi doesn't have a job? He goes, you can give him a podcast with Van Lathan.
There you go. Yeah, you can be on with Van Lathan.
So he can come over with us if Philly.
Kick it up.
So Lombardi has a safe landing spot.
We'll throw some offers out there for sure. That'll be fine.
All right, let's get to your
All right, okay, so Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame plus 8.5. I got it on FanDuel 8.5.
Okay.
ESPN's at plus 8. It's going to be a close game.
All right, let's get to the NFL.
Oh, wait, one last one. Notre Dame. 18.5 is their total points over under because I'm taking it for the win or to cover. Give me them over 18. I think Notre Dame could put up 20 on an Ohio State team, even if they're kind of getting blown out or if it's not going right. So I don't know about 46.5 for the total of the game, but Notre Dame over 18.5.
Okay.
They can get there. So, okay. Oh, whoa, baby. We're on fire up in here, dude. We are.
Of course, Mike Tyson.
Oh, of course, Mike Tyson. Is that Mike Tyson or Mike Hamilton? Which Mike is it? Okay, Pete, we're going to NFL. We're going to NFL.
Right.
Okay. We went against this team last week. I did. Scotty did. You didn't. The Texans are plus 8.5 going into KC. This is another thing. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
Kansas City rested, but they just don't ever blow teams out anymore. That's just not the Kansas City. This new Kansas City team. 8.5 too many points. I like Houston.
Really?
I like Houston to hang in here.
Okay.
I don't think their team, Kansas City, isn't predicated on getting all these sacks, which is kind of what holds CJ Stroud back. Is when he doesn't have time to throw. I think they'll settle into a nice game script here, and even if there's a cheapy touchdown at the end, the Texans will cover.
Okay.
So 8.5.
I'm with you. I like that.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. The Rams going to your Eagles.
Oh, you skipped one. What's that?
Well, hold on. Well, we got mortgage bet. We got mortgage bet. So I didn't combo these together. That probably wasn't smart, but this is how I felt. The Rams plus 6.5 at your Eagles. The Eagles did us a little dirty last week and screwed up our mortgage bet for poor Mike Nelson at Efficient Lending. We had it plus 9.5.
Trust me,
Packers.
I do like.
Oh.
like welfare checks. I'm like, no,
You guys
make sure he's still on this podcast. I'm like, well, there he is. Good.
I saw Mike Nelson.
Yeah, he hasn't bailed on
He
us.
hasn't bailed. He's still here. So give me Rams plus 6.5. I think that team. This feels like a veteran-led Rams team, which it kind of is. That'll keep this game close in Philly. Kyron Williams is a great running back for the Rams. Their defense is, I mean, look what they did to the Vikings. I know Sam Darnold different than Jalen Hurts. I know you probably think Philly minus 6.5. Or not.
Here's why. I'm going to be this guy, the weather guy. Dude, it's going to snow. I mean,
Okay.
it's like a 70% chance of snow.
That's fine. I think the Rams can play in the snow. That team can play.
Maybe they can.
I think
They can, but it certainly doesn't. Like, this is an Eagles team that's built for like the grind of like.
Sure. I don't know, man. Jalen Hurts gets a little knock in the head, and maybe they got taken to the Blue Tent. I don't know. I'd be a little worried.
Corey is wishing for the fencing.
I am not.
That is bullshit.
All right, efficient lending. Mike Nelson, mortgage bet. Commanders at Detroit. Pete, the over-under for
I can't
points.
wait for this game. Can I say
This
that?
game is going to be so much fun. 55.5 is the over. We're going to tease. We're going to take the over here, but tease it down to 50.5. I think there's going to be lots of points scored in this game, and clearly Vegas thinks that too. I will be rooting very hard for Jaden Daniels. My boy carried me this fantasy season. He said he'd do a podcast with us during the offseason.
I'll give you credit. One, if you land that podcast, I'll give you a lot of credit. Two, you were talking about him like week 2.
I was,
Like he was
man.
second coming. And I was saying, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, and now here we are.
Yeah, I'm not. It was very different than when RG went to Washington.
Yeah.
Jaden just, I think, knows how to play within himself to stay healthy, even though he got a little nicked up this year. But Robert, that first year in Washington was incredible. Right, electric. Until that Baltimore game when he's flying around. And I remember that play vividly in my mind. It was the big guy for the Ravens, that big lineman dude.
Sam Adams?
No,
Siragusa?
not Siragusa. No. A defensive dude. I can't remember. Anyway, but he tackled Robert. Remember his leg like flew up
I
here?
remember the
Oh, it was awful. And then he still kept playing, and then he played my Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs.
Hey,
We just got
I'll
out.
ask you more.
Okay, anyway, sorry. So over 55, over 50.5.
Okay.
And then the Bills were favored by 1.5 when these lines came out, and now they're underdogs by 1.5. At home, Pete, give me the Bills. We're going to add 5 points for the tees, plus 6.5. We get Buffalo. At home, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game.
18 degrees.
18 degrees. Woo-hoo. That's, man, these are two. I love this.
Yeah.
I love this place. The Ravens do have a great run defense. So I think that's going to be a thing. But that's a good run defense against all the other NFL teams that don't have Josh Allen.
So you like the Bills, huh?
I like the Bills plus
I was
6.5.
telling Zach Owen before my show. I like the Ravens.
I think the Ravens should win the game. Like when you look at the play styles and what they're good at, and what the Bills are good at, and what each aren't good at. I get why the Ravens are now favored. But plus 6.5, with two teams closely matched, this is not going to be a touchdown spread.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
In the snow, it's not gonna
He's over there.
Scotty's disagreeing.
He's like the wrestler running down the ring.
Yeah,
He's
no,
gotta dive into the ring.
I have a very strong opinion about this.
Go ahead.
I'll be shocked if the Bills don't win by 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
Boom.
Listen, and
Boom.
I will be the first to eat crow if Lamar Jackson goes in there and beats them.
Yeah.
But like, I think the Buffalo Bills are a much better team. I do, top to bottom.
Okay.
The Ravens have lost games throughout the season that they should not lose.
Do you want to know that?
Their record is not good compared to their talent.
It's Lamar Jackson bias.
No, here's what it is. Here's the
What's he gotta
opposite.
do?
Here's the opposite. I think the best defensive player in that football game is a Baylor Bear, and he's playing for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, shoot.
Terrell Bernard.
No, sir.
He led the team in tackles last week.
He's Houston, right?
He's in Houston. He missed the second half of the season with an injury.
Okay, so
He'll be back next season. But Terrell Bernard led the team in tackles last week. I think he's the most underrated player in the NFL, and I am biased. But
That's fair, though. He's pretty damn good.
He did pick off Patrick Mahomes in the regular season to win that football game for the Bills. Maybe it's Terrell Bernard who picks off Lamar Jackson to win that football game.
This guy's
There you go. I love it, man.
He's got opinions and he's informed.
It could be a big two touchdown game. It could be a nitty gritty in the cold. And it's 9-6. I don't know. But
Let's
recap.
The Bills are covering.
Can we recap?
We can recap.
I mean,
We can recap. Okay, real quick. The college football championship, Notre Dame plus 8.5, and then give me Notre Dame over 18.5
Okay.
points scored.
Can I make a small request?
Just a small one, yeah.
You were going to send your picks to Scotty, and we're going to make a graph.
I will
Can we
send.
do that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. After we're done, we're gonna do that. That would require me to do this before like my drive in. So, which is fine. I should do that.
Yeah.
I should do that. Okay, Texans plus 8.5. I'll still send it to Scotty afterwards.
Okay.
Rams plus 6.5, and then the mortgage bet brought to us by Efficient Lending, Mike Nelson. Pete, you need a mortgage? Scotty, you need a mortgage? I need a mortgage. We call Mike Nelson. The dude's gonna hook us up. He told us. Mike Nelson told me.
Mike's sitting at home like, define hookup.
Mike said if we hit the mortgage bet this week, he's giving out free mortgage advice. So
Mike, Mike, if your credit score below 600, Mike ain't gonna be able to hook up. Just so you know.
Mike's a wizard, man.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
So work your way back up to the, people sitting at home thinking you got free lunch. Don't think
You
that.
got a free lunch. My mom used to say, Corey, there's never free
No
lunch.
free
Never
lunches.
free
No,
lunch.
she was
Washington Commanders at Detroit. This is our mortgage bet. The two teams, 50.5 is the over.
Okay.
And Bills plus 6.5 to cover.
And Dion.
Dion at plus 100.
You like that?
Put your second mortgage on that one. That's going to happen. Hey, can I give you one more little thing?
Yeah.
The line is not out for this game yet, but my college basketball pick, I told you Baylor would cover minus 3.5 against Arizona State last week. It took overtime.
But they did.
Covered.
Yeah.
So Baylor covered. I'm going to give you another one again. I don't have the spread here, Pete. But Iowa State travels to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Iowa State's going to struggle.
You know, that's a pretty good bet,
They're
dude.
going to struggle. I don't know what the spread is. So if it's like West Virginia plus 1.5, I take it back.
So I will tell you right
imagine
now,
it'd be that low.
the great King McClure, who's a member of the Road Media family, told me yesterday, in no uncertain terms, that after you beat Kansas, there is always a letdown of sorts.
Yeah.
And Iowa State just beat Kansas.
They did.
The number in that game, I don't have the spread.
That was a home game, I think.
Yeah.
Kansas home game.
Okay.
That was
No spread.
it won that big, right? 17 points.
Yeah, by 17 they covered.
Yeah, they covered there. Well, yeah, they clearly would have covered.
No, so right now you got this spread. Let me see.
Well, you looking it up for Kansas last week?
No, I'm looking it up for. I don't have a spread for this game on
No, that's what I'm
tomorrow.
saying. There's not one yet.
Oh, really?
Not
Okay.
one yet. Yeah. So,
Okay.
which is, if the game's tomorrow night, that's a little weird. But
Okay.
check back. Look. So if you're checking on your app, and you just in the morning, tomorrow morning, you wake up Saturday morning, make breakfast with the kids, whatever you're doing, just
check.
go to the game. And if it's like
I guess the line. What do you think it is?
West Virginia plus 7.5.
That's good. I think that's
That's what I'm
pretty
going
good.
to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
we should get some guess the line.
Yeah, well, I would love that. We can college basketball guess the lines. That's good. That's a good one.
Okay, there you
go. Corey, what was the Kingdom? Mike?
Only went there for a Mariners game.
What was it like?
The second best as a kid. The second best place to witness a game outside of Memorial Coliseum in Portland.
Why was it so special?
It was just loud. And it was like you were in there. You could feel like the electricity. I don't know how else to say it. Like when the kid, the kid, when Griff would go up the play, dude, it was just like stop.
Yeah.
It was if there were phones back then, that would have been it. Like they couldn't beat it.
It was a pretty special place.
There was one game we got to go to, Randy Johnson pitching, and it was just like electric.
Randy Dickman in the stands.
Randy Johnson on the mound.
Yeah.
I think we played the A's. Couldn't hit him, man. I mean, it was just awesome. It was great. We used to take the train. We take the Amtrak downtown Portland.
Yeah.
Right up to Seattle. Do about 2 hour, 2.5 hour train ride.
Sousa, like my dad. Yeah, Amtrak life.
There you go.
Amtrak's whole life.
Dude, best like father son stuff. We'd go watch American game. Come back. So safe. I don't think it's called Safeco anymore.
Whatever.
But anyway, when the new ballpark got built, that was, awesome. Open air and the roof retracted, all that. Back now it's like normal for that stuff. But like back then it was like, oh, this is unreal. But Kingdom, could beat it, man.
I'm pissed I never was ever there.
Oh, it was a great experience.
All right, Corey Dickman, all in bet. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Next
We're going to
Monday.
get the graph sent over to Scotty so we can
get all this stuff on the charts. Everybody knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing. We're going to be back on Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to Nicole Sheeran. We're going to talk to Brian from Fight. What's that called? Irish Breakdown. I mean, we have Brian on. Trust me. Moves a needle for us, so we're going to have him back. We will be back on Monday.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. We are Rogue Media Sports.